What's going on, guys? We are Tottenham TV here, back with another match preview. Wolves come to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Sunday, 2 o'clock. Nuno Espirito Santo's side come to Spurs, 1 point behind us in the race for the top four. They currently sit in 8th, yet they only sit 5 points off Chelsea, sitting in 4th. They are well in the hunt for the Champions League places, whether it's 4th or 5th. I'm still saying it's probably going to have to be top 4 for the time being. But Wolves have again impressed this season after overachieving last season and finishing in the top 7. Everyone thought maybe if they make a few decent acquisitions this season, they could be challenging for the top 4. And so has proved. Adama Traore, I know he played for them last season, but he's really come on leaps and bounds. We saw in the first game at the Molineux what a threat he could be. But they really have good players all over the park. You don't have to look too far to see the quality on the pitch for Wolverhampton Wanderers. They completely wiped the floor with Espanyol in the knockout stages in the Europa Leagues. They're safely through into the last 16. They've competed so well, especially against the big sides. They always give the top sides a game, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Whenever they come against Liverpool, against Man City, against Spurs, against Man United, they always usually end up taking points in those games. So that's why I'm not going to hold my breath too much that this is going to be an easy game at all. In fact, I would be very surprised if Tottenham win this game, given our frailties up front since Harry Kane and Son have got injured, and I think I can see this game being a draw, to be honest. I think it's going to be something like a 1-1 or a 2-2. I'm even worried we might even be on the end of defeat just because of the quality of Wolves. They play with a 3 at the back system with wing backs, more kind of like how Chelsea played in the 16-17 season. They got wing backs and they got wing forwards. They kind of experimented last season with 2 up top, but this season looks like they've gone with 2 wingers and 2 centre mids. Obviously, the central midfielders of Ruben Neves and João Moutinho, 2 Portuguese internationals of extreme high quality. Ruben Neves, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to a top club in the summer for a big money transfer, because he's been absolutely sensational since he's come to the Premier League. His passing, and obviously, undoubtedly, his long-range shooting is unparalleled in the Premier League. He's really one of the finest central midfielders there is, and if Man United were to sell Pogba, I think he would be a very good replacement for someone like Paul Pogba, Ruben Neves, and obviously João Moutinho, who we all know as Spurs fans, given the amount of times we've been after him. We obviously nearly signed him a few times, but he's ended up at Wolves, and he's been playing beyond his years. He's, I think, 33, and he's playing like he's 25. He's been absolutely fantastic for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and actually a player we could have done with, given how good he's been. I think people probably lifted their noses up when Wolves signed him, given his age, but he's been absolutely sensational for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and an absolute brilliant player. And so those two are going to be very hard to handle in the central midfield, considering as well we don't really have any defensive midfielders really that are very good at kind of protecting the back four, at breaking up attacks, at getting close to players of the quality like Moutinho and Neves. So I can see them kind of dominating a lot of possession. I just got all we can hope for is our midfield, whoever we play with, Lo Celso or Ndombele or Winks, whatever 2 we play, or even if we play with 3, if we can just dominate the ball and make sure they don't have too much of it, because they're not so good defensively. They're very good on the ball, but that's where Dendoncker comes in, because he mops up for them and he gives the ball to Moutinho and Neves, and then they can play. Obviously, their main attacking threat of Adama Traore on the right hand side is unstoppable on his day. We just got to hope he has one of his off days, because he's been absolutely sensational this season, really stepped up his game. He was one of those players, a bit similar to like Lucas Moura, where he can dribble all day long, he can get past players all day long, but just when he got to the final third, when he got to those situations, he just didn't have the decision making, didn't have the quality to kind of make the difference, and he's really turning that around now. He's really coming up with goals and assists, and he's been so impressive. You saw in the first game in the Molineux, that goal he scored, how good he has been in those situations, just of those long shots with power. He's so hard to stop. We just got to hope that he has one of those days where he's playing a lot in the final third, but can't really find the quality. But it's easier said than done, because obviously he ripped Jan Vertonghen apart last time. Ben Davies is probably going to be his next victim this time, and I can't see Ben Davies faring any much better than Vertonghen did, considering one of Ben Davies's main weaknesses is his lack of pace. Hopefully, if he can tuck in, make a kind of third centre back, and keep Adama Traore out wide rather than in central areas, it could help. It could help with that. But I think also one player who doesn't get mentioned enough in the Premier League, one of the most underrated players in my opinion in the Premier League, is Raul Jimenez, one of the best strikers in the Premier League at the moment. Not only does he chip in with a fair amount of goals, I think he's got over 10 goals this season. He gets a lot of assists as well, and he's very strong. He gets a lot. He's very good at his hold-up play. And Wolverhampton Wanderers signed him permanently this summer for £30 million, and that is an absolute steal considering the season he had last season. I don't know why Tottenham weren't all over that, considering he had a release clause, I believe, of 30 million with his old club, and we saw the quality he had last season for Wolves. I thought he would have been an absolute no-brainer for Tottenham to bring him in and compete with Harry Kane. Whether apparently, obviously we didn't consider that, but he's stepped up again this season, playing some magnificent football, and he's going to be really, really hard to stop. We're going to have to keep a big eye on him because he scored at Wembley. I remember last season when Wolves beat us 3-1 in January. And he's a marksman. He really is a hard player to stop. If you get too close to him, he can outmuscle you. If you get too far away from him, he's got the quality in his shooting boots to find the corners. He's a great talent. And again, he'd be another player who just wouldn't look out of place in the Champions League team. I think he's that good a quality. And I think Wolves really do have that quality all over the pitch. And it's funnily enough, because last season, one of Wolves' greatest strengths was the defence, but given their attacking threats they've developed this season, now you'd have to say the defence is where they can be got at. But again, our lack of attacking threat is a big worry. They like to play three centre-backs, and three centre-backs up against the one forward who's likely to be Lucas Moura is going to be a worrying way to try and get past the defence. So I am quite worried about for this game. I'm hoping Jose Mourinho comes up with a system to compete with Wolves. I'm worried that if he goes with one up top with Lucas Moura, they're just going to be very easily dealt with. And Bergwijn and whoever we play on the right, probably, I'm not sure we're going to play on the right, but maybe Jedson or... But I'm worried that they're going to be, once Wolves kind of defended a back five, they're going to be they won't be able to compete. They're going to be snuffed out the game, and then Lucas Moura is not going to be able to make an impact up top, and they're going to be able to pick us off at the back because our defence doesn't look great at the moment, in all honesty. Their attack is looking really, really sharp, especially if they play on the counter-attack. They've got pace. Also, Jota, who scored a hat-trick in the first leg of Europa League, he's another one to look out for. He's quite inconsistent, but on his day, he's a very dangerous dribbler, and he has a good finish on him. So he's another one where we can't... It's tough. It's going to be a tough game. I think Spurs... The ways we can hurt them is hopefully behind the fullback areas, behind the wing back, if Bergwijn can find some space. But with Wolves playing three at the back and having a centre back being able to come out into the wide position, it's not going to be easy. Hopefully Lucas Moura and Bergwijn can kind of use their dribbling skills to get into one-on-one situations and maybe make it pay. But I think we're in for another really rough day, to be honest. I'm a bit pessimistic about this game. I know that we need the points to keep up in the top four race. Chelsea play Bournemouth, they're likely to win today. But I think Wolverhampton Wanderers have got quality. The only maybe good thing going for us is they did play on Thursday night. Maybe they'll be a bit... they could be a bit leggy, but they did rest a lot of players because they were 4-0 up from the first leg. So I can't see that giving us too much of an advantage, in all honesty. I'm going to be... Me being optimistic is going for a draw in this game. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. But I honestly, if the game ends in 2-1 or 3-1 to Wolves, I wouldn't be surprised given their quality and given the struggles they're having at the moment, competing with the players we have. I think it's going to be a struggle, and I think if we come away with a victory, that'll be a very, very big win, especially given the way Wolves play against big teams and the way they play away from home. They've got a lot of quality. They always give a good game, so it's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. But I think I'm going to go 1-1. Which wouldn't be the worst result at the end of the day if we can stay in touch with the top four. But I wouldn't be surprised if Wolves end up winning this one because they're a supremely good team. But anyway, let us know in the comments below. What do you think the score is going to be? Who do you think the main men for Wolves are going to be to look out for? Let us know in the comments below. Like, subscribe if you like our content. And as always, Come on, you Spurs.